Today I'm going to show you 3 ways you can prepare cranberries for your upcoming holiday gatherings and festive times. The first is a cranberry compote, the second is a jellied cranberry sauce, and the third is a spicy cranberry salsa. Let's get started. Welcome back to Gary's Urban Larder. My name is Gary Rice. I'm a home cook with more than 50 years of experience. Thank you for joining me today. We're getting ready to make something I think is needed for any holiday meal, and that is cranberry compote. Before I go through the ingredients though, if you're new here, please hit the subscribe button and give us a thumbs up if you enjoy the video. All right, I'll go through the ingredients. I've got some fresh cranberries that I've washed and I've allowed to drain, and I'll pick through those, and if I see any bad fruit, I'll set those aside. Some granulated sugar, an orange, which I'm going to use the zest and the juice, star anise, clove, and cinnamon stick. And it's really a straightforward recipe. So why don't we get started? I've got a pan here and I'm just going to add the berries to it. And again, discard any that look a bit wrong, a bit worse for their wear. And you can source cranberries about from mid-November of each year in North America. And you can look for them organic farmer stands, little markets, and you can pick them up there. And also, if you only have a source of your local supermarket, you can check there in the fresh produce. But do try to get organic if you can, and the freshest. I don't recommend frozen. So those are in there. To that, we're going to add some sugar. And this is where we add extra flavor with our orange. I'm going to give that a roll until that's fragrant. Oh, I don't know about you, but the smell of oranges and cinnamon, clove, and star anise at this time of year, it's really what I need. So I'm using a microplane, and I'm just giving that outer peel, that zest, and I'm adding that to the pan. And I tell you, the fragrance really fills the space. It's wonderful. It's a heady fragrance. And some of you may know, I am not a big fan of citrus, but you can't have cranberries without a bit of orange juice. I'm now going to just slice our orange in half, and I'm going to juice both halves. And once those are juiced, I'll add that to our pan. Just turn that on and let those start to cook. And while that's coming up to temperature, I'm going to take a little bag here and I'm going to add in star anise, a couple of nails of my clove, and I'm actually going to break this and add in the cinnamon stick to that bag. And the reason I'm doing this is simple. I won't have to fish it out later. So I'm just sticking that down in there. Clear this a little bit so you can see. And as that comes up to temperature, those berries will start to burst. They'll just pop and they release their own juices. And if you want to take a look, you can just start to see that start to bubble away. Okay. Okay, that's really, they're starting to pop. And I'm just going to give them a little stir. And really, there's not much more to do than wait. Cranberries naturally have a lot of pectin, which is what's often added to fruits, to jams and jellies to make them congeal. So this, as it cools to room temperature or after refrigeration, it will form a jelly. So again, it's a really simple process. I encourage you to try it. It's really easy. And the whole kitchen is filled with the smells of cinnamon, anise, clove, orange. It's just amazing. Plus the cranberry. And they just start to break down. And once those berries have all broken down, we'll just turn off the heat. And I'll add that to a little bowl for it to cool off. Before I do, I want to taste it just to make sure it has the right amount of sugar. If it doesn't, I can add a little more. You can see how it's already starting to gel just on the spoon. It's not too sweet. If you like it more tangy, reduce the amount of sugar. I mean, it's really up to you. If you don't like some of the spices, use some other ones. And just experiment. But the thing is, don't be afraid to try it. Now you can see I've got those berries have broken down. And I'm now just going to add that to my bowl. What could be simpler? Please don't go to a supermarket and buy cranberries in a can. Just, I will show you, if you like just the pure jelly, I will show you how you can do that just by sieving this, sieving out the skin and the bulk of the fruit. But I like this more rustic style. So that's it. There's nothing more to do other than wait. Our cranberry compote has set and it's just at room temperature, and I want to show you the texture and how wonderfully soft the fruit is and how it has a beautiful, beautiful color. And it's just wonderful. You still get all the aromas. And now the real question is in the tasting. Oh yeah. That is really wonderful. You get a bit of the fruit in terms of texture. The citrus is a background note that the cinnamon, the anise comes through, and just a touch of the clove. Okay, next we're going to make the jellied cranberry sauce. And it really starts exactly the same way. We've got our cranberries here, which I'm going to add. And I have picked through these. These have been washed and drained. And then we have our sugar. And this is the right amount of sugar, so I don't have to reserve any back. And we have an orange. This time, I'm still going to roll that orange to get those essential oils going. But this time, instead of zesting it, I'm going to peel that. I want to get nice strips of the skin of the orange into this pot. That's pretty good. I think that's all we need. Now we're going to juice the orange, just like we did previously. So there's 1/2 juiced, and we'll juice the other half. And this time, what we're going to do, add that juice as before. What we're going to do is to bring it to a boil like we did before. Let those berries start to burst and give up their juice. But we're going to cook it a little bit longer until the fruit is really, really soft. And then we're going to put it through the fine sieve and into a container to mold it, and we'll chill it. So it's really that simple. I'm going to add our spices now. Again, star anise, 3 bits of the clove, and our cinnamon stick, which I'm just going to break up slightly. And the only reason I'm putting it in this cloth is to be able to fish it out very easily. So that goes in our pot. And now all we do is we wait. As you can see, I've cleaned up a little bit. I've got our strainer and our bowl, and the bowl we're going to use to mold it. I've covered our pot, and I've increased the heat so that fruit can cook down to become very soft. So it's just going to take about 5 to 8 more minutes, and then we'll run it through our sieve. All right, I've uncovered the pot and have lowered the temperature, and the fruit has become very, very soft. And that's really what we've been looking for. I will taste it just to make sure I've got the right level of sweetness. And you can see how that's gelled already. It's absolutely fine. And that's the thing about cranberries. They already contain a large amount of natural pectin, which helps it gel, which helps that jelly set. Just scraping all of that out. You can see how it's starting to set already. Set this to the side. And I'm just going to push that through our sieve so that we get as much of the liquid, the jellied liquid, from those cranberries. And it just smells fantastic. So I just want to push that through, and you can see the rest of that is just pulp. Which we will discard. You could use it, I suppose, for base or thickening for another sauce. But at this point, it's really just the skin. There's not much pulp left. And we've probably gotten all we can out of that. So it goes to the compost. So I'm just going to scrape down all of that. I'm making a bit of a mess. That's all right. I'll clean it up. You can see the richness of that. Isn't that amazing? And it really took very little effort. All right. So I'm just going to take that now. Just make sure it's well combined and just pour that right into our jelly mold. I'm just using a Pyrex bowl, but if you have a mold, you could use it. And that will just chill in the refrigerator until it's fully set. And finally, it's our spicy cranberry salsa. So I have cranberries again. These are fresh, which are frozen in the freezer. Some red jalapenos, some free running honey, and a lime, which we're going to take the juice of that lime. And again, this time I'm rolling it to make sure we can get enough juice out of it. And this is really, really simple. So we'll juice our lime, and we'll use our food processor. And what we're going to do is just pulse everything together. So you can, I wouldn't omit the jalapenos, but if you don't like it too spicy, add enough so you have a kick. And this is a very tart salsa. It's not overly sweet. We want to enjoy the tartness of these cranberries. So let's go. So in those go, and I'm just going to do 2, and I'm going to do seeds and all. You can take the seeds out if you like, if you don't like as much heat. I'm going to add our honey. Really get that all through there. And, our lime juice. As I say, it's really simple. We just start to pulse it. And that is starting to look really good. I'm just going to grab a spoon so I can give it a taste. So just checking it. Got a few bits that have sort of glom together. And you can add a little bit more liquid or other juice. Oh, that's got a nice kick. A nice sweetness. So I'm going to finish this up and then just put it in our bowl. I added a little bit more honey because when I tasted it, it didn't have quite the sweetness that I wanted. It was a little too tart. So make sure you do taste it. I think that's probably it. So I'll just give you a look at it. You see that? That is, I'm just going to taste it again, make sure it has enough sweetness. Oh, that is wonderful. So I'm just going to give that one more pulse. And then we'll put it in our bowl. Now you can add other things to this if you like, maybe some sweet onion, but I think, or you could use spring onion, sweet onion. You could add green jalapenos, and that way if you want that sort of red and green for this time of year, you can do that. So, we'll just turn this out. Let me set this aside and use my spatula. And that, my friends, is really all she wrote. That's all you have to do. Again, if you don't want it as spicy, leave out some of the jalapeno or certainly seed them. And there we have our beautiful cranberry salsa. So I'm just going to clean up a little bit and I'll be right back. We now have cranberries 3 ways: our cranberry compote, our cranberry jelly, and the salsa. And just before serving, we want to add in some fresh and chopped cilantro. And I'm going to give this a try. It's got a real kick from the jalapenos. The lime mellows it out, and then that ever-present taste, familiar taste of cilantro really makes that a delicious and festive salsa. Thank you for joining us today. I hope you enjoyed today's recipes for the 3 different ways you can do cranberries. If you haven't subscribed, please do, and ring that notification bell so you don't miss a single recipe. Give us a thumbs up if you like today's video, and be sure and share this with your friends. It really helps the channel out. Until next time, bye.